right, we got 2 black niggas in the car, so you're probably not going to see us, but we going to have a great conversation real quick. But don't forget, September 28th, don't forget, 100 black men strong, show up. If you ain't there, you shouldn't be nowhere else. You know what I mean? Go jump off a bridge if you ain't there, man.
Right.
And
go hide up under a rock.
Go hide up under a rock. Slauson and LeBrere. We got L_Supreme88.
Let's get it.
L_Supreme88. And since Vasil Lomachenko is fighting this weekend, we might as well talk about this dude. What's your honest assessment? Thank you. Assessment.
I like Lomachenko. I've always liked him, but just like any other non-black fighter who comes on the boxing scenes and makes a splash, they blow him up. You know what I mean? I'm not discrediting his achievements, his accolades, and his resume, but to even have him, what they have him, isn't he ranked pound for pound?
Number one.
That's beyond me. You know, I would say he might be top 7, top 8 pound for pound, but he's definitely not number 1. For God's sake, he lost to Orlando Salido. You know, and I'm not taking nothing from Orlando Salido. He's a tough fighter, but come on, man, he's very. After that fight, they really learned how they had to move him. You can't put him in the ring with no gritty fighters, no guys that got an inkling of power, because he gonna get touched and he gonna get hurt. But nah, pound for pound, and then I kind of caught the little snippet of what Andre Ward was talking about, and I was just like, wow, he's giving him way too much credit. You know, he's good, but come on, man, who has he beat? Look at his resume. Who has he fought? He's fought a bunch of guys he could just look good against. Guys that's tailor-made for his style.
Half his resume he's pulled. Well, I'm going to be safe. A third of his resume, they have been pulled up fighters.
Of course.
They've been pulled up.
They're not fighters, exactly. They're not fighters who deserve to be, you know, in primetime fights, which would be called a primetime fight because of him. Because to be honest, he hasn't really earned a primetime fight. So, you know, I'm not taking from his act. What he got? Three Olympic gold medals. 2 Olympic gold medals.
The Cuban got 3.
Yeah,
the heavyweight Cuban.
That says a lot. But amateur boxing and pro boxing is 2 different animals, man. Two different species of boxing, man. So, yeah, I think the boxing world, as far as the you know, some of the media, and as far as his promotion, they're the ones that's pumping him up, you know, giving him all the hype, you know what I mean? ESPN, like, come on, man, he's not that. And I kind of trip about how I was tripping about how Stephen A. Smith was even trying to correct Ward today. I'm like, man,
I haven't watched that yet.
I watched this, like, I was at the gym earlier and I watched a small little snippet of it, and I'm like, man, these dudes really be wanting to talk like they know boxing. Like, I get it, man, this is your job, but come on, man, like, it's foolery, man. It makes the sport look bad, man, especially the history of boxing, man. Like, come on, man, there's been guys who really was greats, man, who ain't getting no credit at all.
That's what I say.
Come on, man, it's disgusting. You know, well, how you feel about him, Fred?
First I'm gonna disclaim, I think Lomachenko is really good. I just don't believe he's an all-time great. You know what I mean? Like, Bob Arum described him as the best fighter since Ali. Since Ali. Yeah. And I'm like, Ali? I'm like,
all the fighters that came before
Salvador Sanchez is light years ahead of Lomachenko.
Man.
I mean, like, Pernell Whitaker, light years. I mean, the only way you can hit Pernell Whitaker is if he wanted to engage with you.
Exactly.
You understand? He could make you miss for 12 rounds and still not sweat or breathe hard. Exactly. You know? So I mean, I'm just gonna name those 2. And even, I mean, since we're talking about Andre Ward, I said earlier, Andre Ward's inside game,
second to none.
Lomachenko don't even have an inside game.
Right.
How can you utter greatness? He's on a path potentially to be great. And we're not going to say he's not good,
right,
but he's on a path. But you can't just say, oh, he's an all-time great coming out of your mouth. Because every time you call him an all-time great and he hasn't accomplished what you've accomplished, it discredits you, in my humble opinion.
No, it does.
You understand?
Yeah.
So I think that all these hyperboles and superlatives and great adjectives that they putting on Lomachenko, he may get there. You know, he may beat Tank Davis. He may beat Gary Russell a second time. He may fight Mikey Garcia at 140. He might fight Regis Prograis at 140 or a catch weight, whatever the case may be. But until then, we can't place this title on him because he's not even better than Larry Holmes.
Nope.
Like, he's not even better than Larry Holmes right now.
See, just for them to be able to create this narrative for us to even give attention to the subject is a mockery, man. Like, we shouldn't even be comparing him to guys like that. That shouldn't even be a question. But this is the foolery that boxing has come to. And then for Ward to come out and say what he said to jump on the bandwagon, it's like, Ward, your predecessors haven't even said that. The predecessors that you work for, those who've been in your position before, that know you, that probably hired you, that said good things about you for you to get the job. I don't know. I'm not gonna discredit your seat, of the seat of your job, but they never gave you that much credit.
Jim Lampley called him the son of. Like, he disrespected Andre Ward so bad when he said that ain't no son of God or something like that. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, they would never like if
they wouldn't put him in a conversation of one of the greats of all time. Like
when Andre Ward goes to the inside, he's making it an ugly fight. He's making it a dirty fight. When Salido go inside, or one of them, just I don't know who it is at this present moment, but when he go inside. Oh man, he's doing well. He's working the body. Right. He wants it. He's a dog. You know what I mean? But when Ward goes on the inside, when Floyd make you slip 100 punches, we don't want to see that. When Canelo does it, oh man, what a mastery, what a wizard. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, man, people always say, because they don't use the word race. They don't use black and white. They use adjectives which excite racism.
Exactly. Yeah.
They're not being labeled as race. But when we can say this white man is discrediting Andre Ward, which Jim Lampley did, Larry Merchant did, even Roy Jones on some level didn't. Sometimes he did, and sometimes he just let it sweep under the rug about how they would always discredit Andre. Sometimes Roy Jones was. I can't say all the time, but he was the only one I leaned on to say, hold up. Andre Ward is really that good now.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right. And one of the last remnants of just a great guy, a guy that was gonna speak his mind, was Emmanuel Stewart, man. He was the only one, and George Foreman.
We loved him. And Emmanuel Stewart especially.
Emmanuel Stewart, man, I love that brother, man. He used to put them in check, man. You know what I mean? He used to let them know what it was, and maybe Ward should go back and watch some of them clips, man, because. Some of his announcing, because he didn't let none of that slide, man. He would have to let him know, like, no, this is what he's doing.
Yeah.
If you watch the fight, this is what's going down. This is what's progressing. This is what he's getting to. And then they'll say, because they're not even looking at that angle because they don't know nothing about fighting. What they're doing is they've been prepped before the show. Hey, these are the topics to touch on, and stay on these topics.
And the producers in their ear.
Exactly. All the time. So these guys, as far as boxing, they don't know what the hell's going on in that ring. You get what I'm saying? And to go back to Lomachenko, you mentioned something about his inside fighting.
Non-existent.
As an absence.
Non-existent.
He looks good against guys who have no mobility. You put a guy in there that can. I'm gonna say you don't even have to put a guy in there that has great footwork. Put a guy in there that know how to cut off the ring. He won't look that good. He will not look that good at all. He won't. Damn. What's that Mexican fighter that used to cut off the ring real well?
What weight class?
He was I think he fought at 140, 147 back in the day.
Chavez.
Chavez. He would.
Go to the body.
We're gonna go to Chavez. Chavez would eat that dude alive, man. He would eat him alive. And Chavez, you wouldn't say Chavez was a guy that had great footwork. He knew how to ply. He knew how to cut the ring off, and he giving it to you. Once he gets to where he's going to, he's getting off.
And then since you brought up Fernando Vargas, before he lost, would beat Lomachenko. And he's not even like a bona fide Hall of Famer.
Come on, man.
After Fernando Vargas lost, he was a little bit different fighter. But before the loss, ferocious, man, before he stopped doubting himself and took steroids and all that, man, he would have beat him.
Come on, man.
You know what I mean? Trinidad would be, man, Trinidad is not even a top 10 fighter. And Tito Trinidad would hit this one. I know different weight classes, guys.
I'm not gonna say Tito because that's just too big. You
know?
No,
but I'm saying I know weight class, but they saying he's Bob Arum called him an all-time great since Ali.
That's crazy.
Tito Ortiz.
See that for Bob Arum, if anybody actually, bought into that, I guarantee those who bought into it are the same people who discredit Floyd as being an all-time great. Them are the only people I can see that way.
Man, Floyd is special, man. He's a wizard in there,
Come on, man. I just had a random thought about Floyd today as I was working out, and I said, man, Floyd is probably the best. I was drinking some water between rounds, and I said, Floyd is probably the best fighter ever. Top 3, no doubt. Mm-hmm. But I said, he's probably the best fighter ever.
Why? What gave you that inclination?
For one, his discipline, man. I've never seen somebody so disciplined to their craft. And as Floyd, made more money, he built his name, as his name started growing, he just started getting better and better. Mm-hmm. You just start seeing, I start seeing like, damn, this dude know how to do everything. Mm-hmm. That his adjustments, second to none. He can make an adjustment on the fly better than anybody.
Sure.
Because you never, if you happen to penetrate Floyd, that'll be your only moment to do so.
Yeah, because he's going to adjust. Immediate adjustment.
You never see the same thing get done on him twice or for more than 30 seconds. Mm-hmm. It will not happen. Mm-hmm. I've never seen that happen. Mm-hmm. Even when Shane Mosley caught him, that was the biggest punch he ever got caught with in his, and within, well, I don't know, it was about a minute, 30 seconds left. He lasted that round. Next round, he beat the hell out of Shane Mosley. Shane Mosley could never draw. He could never draw anything back from that momentum. That momentum was gone, and it was history. Also too, Floyd can do everything. He can fight at every range of
every range.
He can fight going forward. He can fight going backward. He can fight going left and right. He can do the same thing.
And he don't panic. Like, he's so calm. Against Maidana, he was so calm. He was frustrated at the beginning because he felt he was being dirty. But
right.
But that second fight, the adjustments he made, man, he was so calm. He got clipped. Yeah. But he got calm. He was so calm.
He is the greatest to ever do it, man.
I don't know if he's the greatest to ever do it.
I would have to say, man, I thought that
I don't know yet, but he's definitely top 5.
That thought came to he's top 3. That thought came to my mind, and I said, man, Floyd is probably...
So it's only one spot left. You got Ali, Floyd.
Well, my top 3 guys, just my personal top 3 guys.
Well, let's finish this before we talk about top 3, because we can make that a different video.
Oh, okay. No, I was just gonna make a quick statement.
Oh, go ahead. People are
I was gonna say my top 3 guys is Tyson, Ali, and Floyd.
Okay.
Not in that order, but Floyd. But back to Floyd though. Another reason why he's the greatest because, like I said, discipline. Like, he kept getting better, man. Like, I've never seen that. Like, and he for his whole welterweight career, he always fought bigger opponents. Like, he was a great little man. It's hard for a little man. This is how you know he was great, because he was a little man beating big guys. That was good.
Well, he started with Corrales. Gennaro Hernandez too, but I'm just saying.
Right, that were good big guys, that were champions. You get what I'm saying? And he was beating those guys convincingly. It was without a doubt, you know what I mean? He was just levels ahead of them guys, and he just kept doing that.
Sure.
Especially in his welterweight career. Like, Floyd is naturally, when he fought welterweight, he could have easily made 140. That's where he should have been actually fighting at, but he was going for that money, Yeah. And Floyd walked around at his weight.
Yeah, he did.
He walked around.
Never over 160.
Never over 155.
Yeah.
Like, Floyd, man, to be that dedicated to your craft, man, and then defensively, man.
Wizard.
Come on, man. Like, it's hard to get a guy that can do everything offensively, but also is just as good defensively, if not better.
You're right.
Yeah.
I mean, he was an offensive juggernaut.
Come on, man.
140 and below, offensive juggernaut. Damn.
And then people say, oh, he ran and ran. These are people who never boxed. That never took a punch in the ring. You come on, man. You know how hard those guys at 147 are hitting, man? Them guys are hitting like bona fide middleweights, man.
Yeah.
And Floyd took risk, man.
Cotto.
He took risk. Them guys was hitting, man.
You met Cotto in the middle of the ring, like, let's go.
Man, them guys are hitting, man.
He countered the shit out of Cotto. Damn.
And guys always try to say Floyd don't got that much power.
Well, you don't never see him mowing them down like Sean Porter did Malignaggi.
Nobody after a few jabs, a few lead right hands, they not coming in there so aggressively or so convinced that they gonna stop him.
Facts.
He must got some pop on this punch that'll make you think about coming in there. I'm telling you, man. You know, Floyd is probably the greatest ever, hands down. You know.
But Bob Arum said Lomachenko's better.
Man, Bob Arum, man, he might be dementia might be coming on.
Dementia might be setting in.
Yeah,
right?
like, come on, man. Like, I get it, man. You trying to promote your fighter, man.
Yeah, he's promoting them.
Come on, man.
But that's
a reach, man. That's a far reach.
But that's blatantly disrespectful, though.
It is. And just for Andre Ward to
not rebuttal that,
man.
Andre Ward ain't lost since he was 11 years old, 12, somewhere.
Man, Andre Ward is eons above that guy, man. He's eons. Andre Ward, if you listen to brother, you're eons.
He gonna watch the video.
You are eons and eons ahead of Lomachenko by far, and you know
Andre
this.
Ward was.
You know this.
Andre Ward was the greatest, not the greatest, but Floyd probably was the greatest at this. But literally, he would disarm you. He would make you a one-handed fighter.
Oh yeah.
And he would say, "I'm just gonna live and die with that. I'm gonna beat you with you. If you beat me, you got to beat me with one hand.
You're gonna beat me with that left hand.
Well, whatever it is. But you never. The reason why. Well, I'm not gonna talk about that. But he always took your power hand away, and people called it dirty. But that motherfucker was a villain in there, man. You know what I mean? He was a villain in that mother. Man, I used to watch Ward and be like, that motherfucker's a dog. Because he don't look like one. You know what I mean?
He got a soft face and soft features. You know, light skinned brother.
Dog,
but man, when he hit that switch, oh man.
He would beat you up on the inside.
And would love doing it.
Love doing it. Facts.
You know, every time I seen in an Andre Ward fight, in that Super 6 tournament, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he was an underdog every fight.
Mikkel Kessel was supposed to knock him out.
And when that tournament first started, I said Andre Ward is going to win this.
Well, we all said that for various reasons. We all said that.
I said he's going to win this thing convincingly. And every time I seen, this is every Andre Ward fight, anybody who pushed them buttons and made him go, he went.
Well, the Kovalev.
He never shied back. He always showed you there's another layer to me. Y'all didn't know this existed in me. I've never had to show it. But now that you bring this out of me, like, man, when he did to Kovalev, when he after he got dropped, he smiled, he got up. Man, he ripped that boy body apart.
He was pissing blood for a month.
Oh my God.
See, people not gonna give him credit for that. I give him credit for that shit. Kovalev was pissing blood for a month.
Man.
Easily pissing blood for a month.
If all y'all out there, I'm gonna tell you, go watch Andre Ward training. I used to do this a lot. Andre Ward training. Watch his shadow boxing. Oh man, you will see the genius. You will see the genius. Watch his shadow boxing, and you will see the genius. Oh my God, you'll see the genius. If you really know this game and you really study this game, you'll see vintage Andre Ward when he's shadow boxing. That's Andre Ward when he's shadow boxing. He'll show you just how much of a genius he is when he's shadow boxing. And you can see how he computes that to ring situations and just how effective what he does in shadow. It's a lost art.
Yeah.
It's a lost art, but he stuck with it. That's one dude who shadow boxed. He fought I seen him. He fought fights during his training camps, shadow boxing. So, Andre Ward, you listening, brother?
Do not give him a compliment you've
know
never given yourself.
You know you
So
great.
say it. If Lomachenko walked around and say he's a pound for pound great, Ward should say, I'm fucking better than, I mean, like, if I'm an all-time great, he has yet to accomplish what I've accomplished. You get what I'm saying?
Of course.
And man, it's his jab is not even as good as Andre Ward's. Like I mean, he's like a Rolex. He has perpetual motion and all this shit, and it looks good, and he overwhelms you to some degree. But imagine a fighter that left hooked him every time. You know what I mean? Like I say, I'm gonna just catch your shit and let Vasil will be like, oh shit, hold up. Because even if he catch it, he'll be like, oh, I'm not going on the inside.
Yeah.
I'm not going on the inside. I'm not going on the inside. Fuck that.
Right.
I'm not. But so I mean,
they know who to place in front of him.
Yeah, man.
They know exactly who to place in front
all
of
these,
him to continue to make him look that great.
All these flat-footed. He done fought so many flat-footed fighters, man. Linares was a flat-footed fighter, you know.
Yes, he looks great because of who's in front of him, and I'm not taking his, you know, the years of hard work that he put into the gym, all his Olympic accolades. I'm not taking nothing because the man is in dog shape.
Yeah.
He's an animal.
No, we're not taking nothing. I'm not taking nothing away from him. He's just not great yet.
Nah, he
13-1.
Well, and
you know how many black fighters are 13-1 right now? How many Mexican fighters are 13-1, and he's great?
Yeah, he got a lot of flash, a lot of brawn to his game because he's the people that's in front of him.
Yeah.
Get the right fighter in front of him, because they are out there, and he won't look that great.
I mean, think about it. Mayorga might catch him with an overhand right. You know what I mean? Like, Mayorga gonna take all that shit on the face and catch him with an overhand right.
A guy like Mayorga,
you see what I'm saying? Right. Like I'm just being honest, man. Like, he's not an all-time great.
Not at all.
Is he good? Yes. Is he the best at 135? Probably yes. But he ain't no man. I it just bothers me when the people that are vouching for it don't stand up and say, hold up, slow, let's pump up. This nigga's 13-1.
And see, it would be in Bob Arum's interest to get a guy like Andre Ward.
Oh yeah.
You know. Oh yeah. To endorse him.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Come here.
Andre Ward said that. Damn, he must be an all-time great.
If Andre Ward said it.
Right. You get what I'm saying?
I told him that. That's exactly what I said.
I don't care. I'm not saying that. I don't care if my bosses do tell me to say that. I'm not saying that.
You can't say it.
Because the dignity that I would have gained being Andre Ward from all the blood, sweat, tears, and sacrifice wouldn't have allowed me to say that.
The work he's actually put in.
I wouldn't. No, I'm not doing it. Andre Ward walked away from the sport of boxing.
And what he's also saying is Lomachenko's dad is a better trainer than Virgil Hunter.
And in so many other words.
And so many, without saying it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And see, Andre Ward walked away from the sport of boxing, right?
On top.
And on his own terms. And he felt, of course, he had to make it. It was he made a financial decision that, you know what, there are a few more money fights out there that I can make, but I'm financially set. I'm good. I can walk away from my passion. I know Andre Ward don't like announcing more than he loved boxing.
I'm sure.
So he walked away from doing what he loved and left money on the table. How could, your bosses be able to pitch that to you and you not say, hey, I can walk away from this too. If I gotta leave my dignity in your hands.
See, okay.
I can't do it.
Now let's call this. If he's 13-1, all-time great, what is Carissa Shields?
Yeah, of course.
You see what I'm saying? Like now we stuck in a conundrum. She's 8-0, 9-0. Is she the best ever? You got to give her the same credit. The woman ain't lost. The only time she's ever lost is probably when she changed boyfriends or some shit like that. Like, she don't lose. Yeah, Carissa don't lose. Yeah. You know what I mean? She's a bad mother.
Yeah,
so that's why we got to be careful what we say. Because now it's like, well, if you're praising Lomachenko, Carissa Shields has to be better than Lomachenko.
Yeah,
she's unified 2 weight classes.
Yeah.
Going for a 3rd this year.
Yeah, that can definitely be an argument.
2 gold medals.
That can definitely be an argument. It has to be some type of, distinction.
You see what I'm saying?
Everybody doesn't belong here.
Or how about his fighter, Shakur Stevenson? 9-0, like silver medalist.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I mean, we got to be careful, man.
Greats and Hall of Famers, man. Those are distinct.
Lomachenko's not a Hall of Famer yet.
No.
He's won belts. Those are basically trinkets, man. Those aren't like.
But if you say a guy like what I'm saying is the Hall of Fame and being considered an all-time great, that's a distinct area. You know, that's a distinct placement.
Sure.
Everybody doesn't belong here.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Everybody don't belong.
Everybody don't belong. A chosen few, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's thousands of boxers around the world,
Facts.
Tens of thousands. It's a distinct place in the books when you go to Hall of Fame and all-time greats.
Facts.
You get what I'm saying? You don't get too much. You don't get too many things wrote. Too many articles aren't written up.
Mm-hmm.
There aren't too many spots. You know, for a guy to be placed there, you know, without really having the pro resume, you know, you can put him in Olympic. You know, that could be an argument for the, you know, for the amateurs or something, or an Olympic.
He's not a professional Hall of Fame.
But no, he's not for professional boxing.
13-1. Come on, man.
And I wouldn't even say the one loss. That's not a knock on him. That's not at all, because
he recovered from it. He's won 12 in a row. And then
the you know, today my personal opinion about the old is overrated. You know, you might have a guy that's 19-0, but he hasn't faced anybody. And then when he faces somebody that's 15-2, who's been, you know, who has some experience, that been in there with some tough guys, then he gets wiped out. You get what I'm saying? A lot of times that happens. You get what I'm saying? Like, don't inflate your record. Sometimes a lot of trainers do that. They inflate their guy's record and they not really preparing them for what's really lie ahead. Like, what's your goal? What are you doing this for? Am I boxing? Am I putting my life on the line to get a belt and to make money? Or just to say I got a fighter? Or just to say I'm a fighter? Nah, man. Prepare me for what's ahead if I want to be a great, or I want to be whatever, you know. If you want to just say you're a boxer, okay, you can go to Mexico and fight every week. Fight a cab driver, or, you know, a guy that sell popcorn on the corner or fruit on the corner or whatever, and he's gonna sell out, bought and paid for it. Yeah, you can go 30-0 easily. You know what I mean? But you know, boxing, man, is man, I don't, man, this is becoming more watered down, man.
It is. So Ward, man, you got to step up this weekend, dog. Like, it's just, you cannot give him the same compliments that Jim Lampley and Larry Merchant wouldn't give you. Like, I mean, you can't. And from a selfish perspective, you can't give them, because he hasn't earned it yet. More importantly, he hasn't earned it yet. Go ahead and wrap this shit up, man.
Yeah, man.
L_Supreme 88. Go follow your next best trainer.
Ward, I know you know better, brother. Just come better next time, man. I know you can't always please everybody all the time, man, but you one of the guys that is looked up to by many, man.
Yeah, he is.
You're revered by many, especially guys like myself and Fred. Man, get on these guys' neck, man. If anybody the spokesperson for boxing, it's you. None of them guys have.
And it's not about race. It's just about accolades.
Right.
We're not talking about black versus Lomachenko. We're talking about just if Lomachenko was 35-1, then ran up to 140, 147, maybe. Yeah, we say, yeah, he's an all-time great. But the nigga's 13-1.
Man, Bob Arum said that like he superseded Pacquiao or something.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, he's not even past Pacquiao. Pacquiao would wash this dude. Age for age?
Man, Pacquiao knock him out.
Man, Pacquiao will break his... Man. Yeah, y'all better put some respect on Pacquiao's name. He climbing the ladder. He beat Keith Thurman.
Yeah,
come on, man.
We
didn't even mention Manny Pacquiao. We didn't even get to Manny Pacquiao. Shit.
Right. That was just, I snuck a bonus in there, man.
Yeah, that was, yeah. Anyways, man, appreciate y'all. L_Supreme 88, and we gone.